USPAP page 164. Advisory Opinion 34, AO-34. This communication by the Appraisal Standards Board, ASB, does not establish new standards or interpret existing standards. Advisory opinions are issued to illustrate the applicability of appraisal standards in specific situations and to offer advice from the ASB for the resolution of appraisal issues and problems. Subject: Retrospective and Prospective Value Opinions. Application: Real property, personal property. The issue: two dates are essential to an appraisal report. Standards Rule 2-2A 6 and B6, 6-2D, 8-2A 6, and B6 require that each appraisal report state the effective date of the appraisal and the date of the report. The date of the report indicates the perspective from which the appraiser is examining the market. The effective date of the appraisal establishes the context for the value opinion. Three categories of effective dates: retrospective, current, or prospective, may be used according to the intended use of the appraisal assignment. How should the appraisal be communicated when either a retrospective or prospective date is used so that the report is not misleading? Background: current appraisals occur when the effective date of the appraisal is contemporaneous with the date of the report. Because most appraisals require current value opinions, the importance of specifying both the date of the report and the effective date of the analysis is sometimes lost. Retrospective appraisals, which means an effective date of the appraisal prior to the date of the report, may be required for property tax matters, estate or inheritance tax matters, condemnation proceedings, suits to recover damages, and other similar situations. Prospective appraisals, which means an effective date of the appraisal subsequent to the date of the report, may be required for valuations of property interests related to proposed developments as the basis for value at the end of a cash flow projection and for other reasons. Advice from the ASB on the issue. Relevant USPAP references. Standards Rule 2-1, 6-1, and 8-1 state that each written or oral appraisal report must clearly and accurately set forth the appraisal in a manner that will not be misleading. In order to accomplish this, appraisers must use care when developing the appraisal to analyze appropriate market data when retrospective or prospective opinions of values are a part of the assignment. Retrospective appraisals. The use of clear and concise language and appropriate terminology in appraisal reports helps to eliminate misleading reports. To avoid confusion, the appraiser must clearly establish the date to which the value opinion applies. In retrospective value opinions, use of a modifier for the term market value and past verb tenses increases clarity. If a report written in 2017 states, on August 19th, 2009, the value was this much dollars, the retrospective perspective is clear from the context. It would also be correct to state that the retrospective value as of August 19th, 2009 is X dollars. Because on August 19th, 2009, the value opinion would not have been retrospective, it is retrospective because it has been developed now and looks back. The use of an appropriate qualifier is necessary for clear understanding. A retrospective appraisal is complicated by the fact that the appraiser already knows what occurred in the market after the effective date of the appraisal. Data subsequent to the effective date may be considered in developing a retrospective value as a confirmation of trends that would reasonably be considered by a buyer or seller as of the date from the appraiser should determine a logical cutoff for the data to be used in the analysis because at some point distant from the effective date, the subsequent data will no longer provide an accurate representation of market conditions as of the effective date. This is a difficult determination to make. Studying the market conditions as of the date of the appraisal assists the appraiser in judging where he or she should make this cutoff. With market evidence that data subsequent to the effective date was consistent with market expectations as of the effective date, the subsequent data should be page 165. Used. In the absence of such evidence, the effective date should be used as the cutoff date for data considered by the appraiser. When direct excerpts from then current appraisal reports prepared at the time of the retrospective effective date are available and appropriate, they may help the appraiser and the intended users understand market conditions as of the retrospective effective date. Prospective appraisals. The use of clear and concise language and appropriate terminology in appraisal reports helps to eliminate misleading reports. To avoid confusion, the appraiser must clearly establish the date to which the value opinion applies. In prospective value opinions, use of the term market value without a modifier such as forecasted or prospective, and without future verb tenses is improper. For instance, the prospective market value is expected to be, and not the market value is. Prospective value opinions, along with available factual data, are intended to reflect the current expectations and perceptions of market participants. They should be judged on the support for the forecasts that existed when made, not on whether specific items in the forecasts are realized at a later date. When prospective value opinions are required with regard to proposed improvements to real property, the comment to Standards Rule 1-2E regarding identification of the extent and character of the proposed improvements and Standards Rule 1-4C4 regarding the basis for anticipated future rent and expenses are relevant. Evidence that proposed improvements can be completed by the effective date of the appraisal is important. Support for projected income and expenses at the time of completion of proposed improvements and during the rent up and sell out period. Require the incorporation of sufficient market research in the appraisal and the consideration of existing and future competition. It is appropriate to study comparable projects for evidence of construction periods, development costs, income and expense levels, and absorption. Items such as rental concessions, commissions, tenant finish allowances, add-on factors, and expense pass-throughs must be studied to develop realistic income expectancy. With regard to proposed developments of real property, 2 prospective value opinions may be required. One as of the time the development is to be completed, and one as of the time the development is projected to achieve stabilized occupancy. These prospective values form a basis for investment decisions and loan underwriting. In a prospective appraisal, the appraiser analyzes market trends to provide support for forecasted income and expense or sellout opinions, absorption periods, capitalization rates, and discount rates as of the effective date of the appraisal. Economic trends such as growth in population, employment, and future competition are also analyzed. The overall economic climate and variations in the business cycle should be considered and weighed in the performance of the appraisal process. All value conclusions should include reference to the time frame when the analysis was prepared to clearly delineate the market conditions and the point of reference from which the appraiser developed the prospective value opinion. It is essential to clearly and accurately disclose any appropriate assumptions, extraordinary assumptions, and/or limiting conditions when citing the market conditions from which the prospective value opinion was made.